Hello children, welcome to aimsindia's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching Soil Our Life part 3. So far we have discussed the structure of soil, that is soil profile, and the different types of soil, their texture. Also with the help of activities we have learned. And in today's class some more properties of soil. The properties of soil we are discussing right now. The properties such as we have completed the percolation. In order to understand the percolation, we conducted one activity. So depending what is that formula used to calculate the percolation rate? Percolation rate is equal to amount of water by percolation time. The units are ml per minute, isn't it? Okay, have you calculated the rate of percolation in your soil sample, children? Compare your findings with your friends and arrange the soil samples in the increasing order of the rate of percolation. Okay children, so today another concept we will begin with moisture in soil. Moisture in soil. Have you ever passed through a farmland during a hot summer day when you visit your grandparents' houses in the village? Have you ever passed through a farmland, means agriculture land? Perhaps you noticed that the air above the land is shimmering. Okay, why is it so? So in order to understand this concept, the moisture in the soil plays very important role. Try out this activity and find the answer for this question. Okay, removing moisture from soil. The aim of the experiment is, okay, take a boiling tube, put 2 spoonfuls of a soil sample in it, heat it on a flame and observe it. Let us find out what happens upon heating. So this is the setup. Here the stand and a Bunsen burner. The test tube, soil sample is taken. We are not adding any water. Simply start heating. Okay, what happens upon heating? Do you see water drops anywhere? Yeah. If yes, where did you find them? You will find on the edges of the glass tube. On heating water in the soil evaporates. Okay. We are not adding any water, just we are heating the soil. So the water in the soil gets evaporates, moves up and condenses on the cooler inner walls. Okay, cooler inner walls of the upper part of the boiling tube. Upper part of the boiling tube. Here, these are the drops. Okay. So soil sample we have taken and we heated it. When we heat it, the water present in that soil sample gets evaporated and accumulate in the form of droplets, vapor. Okay. Next, on a hot summer day, the same thing happens. On a hot summer day, the vapor coming out of the soil reflect the sunlight and the air above the soil seems to shimmer. Okay. So after heating the soil, take it out of the tube. Okay. So you can after heating the soil, take it out of the tube, compare it with the soil which has not been heated. Okay, you can compare. So note the difference between the two. Okay, the moisture is lost when we heat the soil. So you can compare the soil which is not heated and the soil which is heated. Okay, that will give you the conclusion that the soil retain some moisture. Okay, because the particles of the soil, in the texture we have studied, the soil with clay particles, more clay particles compared to sand particles, can retain more moisture than the soil with more sand particles. Why? Because the soil with the sand particles, there are more intercellular spaces, but the water cannot be retained. But whereas the soil with more clay particles, they are closely arranged, small gaps are present, those gaps are filled with, they hold the water, isn't it? Okay, children. So next property, absorption of water by soil. To understand this concept, once again let us do another activity. Do all the soils absorb water to the same extent? In the percolation also we have seen that no, all the soils do not absorb the water to the same extent. There is some difference. In order to understand this, let us do another activity. Take a plastic funnel and take a plastic paper or a piece of newspaper sheet, fold and place it as shown in the figure here. Absorption of water in the soil. So this is the arrangement: beaker, a thistle funnel, a filter paper, dropper. Okay, we need these things. These are the requirements. Okay. Now weigh 50 grams of dry powdered soil and pour it into the funnel. So what we have done, we have arranged the setup: a beaker, a thistle funnel, and in that we have folded a paper, either filter paper or any newspaper. Okay. Then you have to weigh 50 grams of dry. So in your laboratory, in order to weigh this small quantities, analytical balance will be there. With the help of that analytical balance, weigh 50 grams of dry powdered soil and pour it into the funnel. Now measure a certain amount of water in a measuring cylinder. You know, liquids can be measured in the containers with marked. Okay, volume of the water can be measured, volume of the liquids can be measured by using measuring jars. Okay, so with the measuring cylinder, you can measure some amount of water and pour it drop by drop on the water using a dropper. Okay, as shown here. So after measuring the water with the help of dropper, drop by drop, you have to pour it into the funnel. So do not let all the water fall at one spot. Okay, you have to take one precaution. The drop by drop you have to spread inside the funnel. Okay, don't drop at one place only. So pour water all over the soil, so such that you can drop by drop the water should fall on the entire soil in the funnel. Okay, that is one precaution you have to take. Next, so you can use a dropper for this purpose and do not let all the water fall on one spot and pour water all over the soil. Keep pouring water till it starts dripping. Okay, see here you can see the dripping, that water gets filtered and drop by drop it will fall into the beaker through funnel. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to subtract the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder from the water you started with. Okay, then this is the amount of water retained by the soil. Okay, so after subtracting the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder from the amount of water you started with, so this is the amount of water retained by the soil. So record your results in your notebook in the following manner. Okay, here you can see weight of the soil 50 grams, initial volume of the water in the measuring cylinder, let it be capital U ml, and the final volume of water in the measuring cylinder, that is capital V ml. Okay, we have divided the volume of water in the measuring cylinder into two parts. First, the initial volume capital U ml and the final volume capital V ml. Okay, the volume of now calculate the volume of water absorbed by the soil is equal to capital U minus capital V in ml. Okay, the weight of water absorbed by the soil is equal to capital U minus capital V in grams. Okay, so by doing this calculation, 1 ml of water has weight equal to 1 gram. Okay, 1 ml is equal to 1 gram. So the percentage of water absorbed, you have to calculate now. Now weight calculated. So the percentage of water absorbed, another formula you have to use. What is a simple formula? Capital U minus capital V by 50 into 100. It gives the percentage of water absorbed by the soil. Okay, children. So carefully you have to note it, each and every step properly, and you have to perform this activity. So this activity helps you to understand the concept absorption of water by soil. Okay, repeat the same experiment with several samples, different samples of the soil. Then you finally analyze, you finally understood the which soil has a good absorption ability. Okay, repeat the experiment. Repeat this activity with the different soil samples. Would you get the same result for all the samples? After doing, you will be knowing. No. Okay, you will get different results. So discuss the results with your friends and answer the following questions. Which soil would have the highest percolation rate? Which soil would have the lowest percolation rate? And here the Boju heard from his neighbors that 8 to 10 days time, 8 to 10 days after the rain, the level of water in a pond or well rises. What is the reason? Which type of soil will allow water to reach a well faster and in greater amount? Which type of soil retains the highest amount of water and which retains the least? And can you suggest any methods to let more rainwater percolate and reach the water underground? Okay, so these questions you need to answer. So let us analyze. Would you get the same result for all the type of soil samples? You get different results. Based on that results, you can discuss, you can analyze these questions. Which soil would have the highest percolation rate? Percolation means the water should seep inside. So the soil with large particles will have highest percolation rate. The soil, which soil would have the lowest percolation rate? The soil with small particles. I am giving clue. The soil with fine particles, more silt, have the lowest percolation rate. Okay. So Bojo heard from his neighbors, 8 to 10 days after the rain, the level of water in a pond or well rises. How it happens? Because the water that is called the groundwater level increase. Okay. Which type of soil will allow the water to reach a well faster and in a greater amount? Which type of soil? The soil with clay particles or with more silt. Okay, it can retain the highest amount of water. The lowest amount of water or the least amount of water is retained by sandy soil. Okay. Let us proceed. So now after studying this the composition, absorption, percolation, these are the properties of the soil. Now the part of the lesson which is useful for us, that is soil and crops. The different types of soils are found in different parts of India. The soils are geographically distributed, isn't it? In some places there is a clayey soil, in some parts there is a loamy soil, while in some other parts there is a sandy soil. Okay. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. These are the physical features, these are the physical factors which influence the nature of the soil. These are some important climatic factors which affect the soil profile and bring changes in the soil structure. Okay. The climatic factors as well as the components, the climatic factors as well as the components of soil determine the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. Okay, that's the reason why in Punjab or in some areas wheat will grow more. Okay, in so north, east, south, if we compare the crops, the distribution of crops and variety of crops, the seasonal crops, Kharif and Rabi seasons, these are the two seasonal. The seasonal crops also varies from place to place. It depends on several factors like climatic factors. Okay. The components of the soil, they determine the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. Okay. Clayey and loamy soils are both suitable for growing the crops like cereal crops like wheat and gram. Such soils are good at retaining water. Okay. The clayey and loamy soils, these two are the best soils to retain water retaining capacities more. For paddy, the soils rich in clay and organic matter. Okay, that is required. Okay. For paddy, the soils rich in clay and organic matter and having a good capacity to retain water are ideal. Okay, for example, for lentils or masoor, and other pulses. Loamy soils which drain water easily are required. Okay, means the loamy soils with somewhat optimum silt and sand, such soils will drain water easily. So such type of soils are best suitable for growing pulses, okay, and lentils. For cotton, for example, cotton, sandy loam, the soil like loam soil, sandy loam, and black cotton soil, we can call it as, which drain the water easily and can hold plenty of air. They are suitable. That's why the cotton is a seasonal crop here. Okay. Next, crops such as wheat are grown in the fine clay soils because they are rich in humus and are very fertile. Okay. In order to grow wheat, the soil should be clayey and with rich humus. Humus means more fertile. So find from your teachers, from the parents and the farmers, the type of soils and the crops grown in your area, and fill in the form of a table to collect the data. Okay, enter the data in the form of a table. So which kind of soil would be most suitable for planting rice? Okay, for planting rice, the soil should be clayey with much organic matter and good water retaining capacity is ideal for growing rice. The soil with a higher or lower rate of percolation. The soil with a higher or lower rate of percolation. So you can fill this table by collecting the data from your from the parents, from the teachers, and have a case study with the farmers. Okay, visit the farmhouse and discuss with them the type of soil and the crop grown. Okay, the clayey soil, the wheat is grown. The clayey soil with much organic matter, rice or paddy is grown. Loamy soils with good water draining, okay, the pulses can be grown. Okay, so like that different types of crops, the vegetable crops and the food crops, like commercial crops. Okay, the groundnut, which type of soil is required for growing groundnut, and for growing cotton, which type of soil is required. Okay, these are all the knowledge is helpful. Okay, so you can educate even the farmers if you know the perfect. Okay, here a case study is given. John and Rashida and Radha went to Leeladhar, okay, the place. Dada and Santosh went to different places and have some conversation. Okay, read the textbook and making pots. So how the soil is useful for us in many ways. You know, nowadays even for the festivals like Ganesh festival, like that, okay, the portraits made of this clay and soil, they are more nowadays even the hand made these handicrafts made of soil, after that some coloring can be done. They are very attractive and they have great demand. Okay, it is one art. Okay, so all those things you have to go for field trips and identify. Okay, children. So the soil pollution nowadays is a big problem. So this soil erosion So let us have a brief note on this soil erosion. The removal of land surface, that is topsoil, by water or by wind or ice, okay, naturally it is known as erosion. The plant roots actually, they firmly bind the soil, and in the absence of plants, soil becomes loose, so it can be moved by wind and flowing water. So it is in our hands. The water erosion of soil is more severe in the areas of little or no surface vegetation, means no grasslands. Okay, so such soils become water deserted, and they are called bare lands. Okay, so cutting of trees and deforestation should be prevented, and effort should be made to increase the green areas. We have to protect the soil, we have to protect the fertility of the soil by using the natural methods like mulching, adding the organic manures, okay, the manures which are made from the natural resources, okay, the plant and animal wastes. So we have to improve the humus in the soil naturally. Okay, so those methods, by following those methods, a farmer can yield good benefits from the soil by using organic farming methods. Nowadays popular organic foods, organic farming. Okay, okay children, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.